Dennis Weaver's journey began far from the bright lights of television, in the modest surroundings of Joplin, Missouri, where he was born on June 4, 1924. Raised in a hard-working household, Weaver learned early the value of discipline, perseverance, and humility. As a young man, he showed remarkable athletic promise, particularly in track and field. Excelling in demanding events like the decathlon, his talent earned him a scholarship to the University of Oklahoma, where his future initially seemed destined for professional sports. However, the outbreak of World War II interrupted those plans, and like many of his generation, Weaver put his personal ambitions aside to serve his country. That experience reshaped his outlook on life, instilling maturity and perspective. When he returned home, older and more reflective, he resumed his education, but began to question whether athletic success alone could truly fulfill him. Discovering a passion beyond sports. While continuing his athletic pursuits at the University of Oklahoma, Dennis Weaver encountered something unexpected that quietly changed his life: acting. Through campus theater productions, he discovered a creative spark that sports had never fully ignited. The emotional depth, storytelling, and connection with an audience offered him a sense of purpose he hadn't felt on the track field. Encouraged by professors and peers who recognized his natural presence, Weaver began to consider acting as more than a hobby. This realization did not come easily, as walking away from a promising athletic career required courage and honesty with himself. Yet he understood that true fulfillment demanded risk. Choosing the uncertain path of performance over the structured world of sports marked a defining moment. It was a decision rooted not in rejection of athletics, but in acceptance of a deeper calling that would shape the rest of his life: struggling years and a breakthrough role. After graduating, Weaver moved to New York City to pursue acting seriously, enrolling at the prestigious Actors Studio. There, he trained rigorously, surrounded by aspiring performers who would later become legends in their own right. Despite the elite training, success did not come quickly. Weaver spent years taking small theater roles, minor film appearances, and working odd jobs just to survive. Rejection was constant, and progress was slow, but his resolve never wavered. His breakthrough finally arrived when he auditioned for Gunsmoke, a Western series quickly becoming a television staple. Cast as Chester Goode, the loyal and soft-spoken deputy, Weaver crafted a character filled with warmth, vulnerability, and quiet strength. His choice to give Chester a limp and gentle demeanor made the character unforgettable. Audiences connected deeply, and Weaver suddenly found himself a familiar face in American homes. Why Dennis Weaver left Gunsmoke? Despite the popularity of Chester Goode, Dennis Weaver made the surprising decision to leave Gunsmoke after nearly a decade. Contrary to rumors, his departure was not caused by conflict, resentment, or behind-the-scenes drama. Instead, it stemmed from a deeply personal desire for growth. Weaver feared being permanently typecast as the lovable sidekick and worried that staying too long would limit his future opportunities. He longed to explore leading roles and more complex characters, even though leaving a secure, beloved role was a significant risk. At the time, stepping away from a hit show meant uncertainty, not guarantees. Many fans were disappointed, and even Weaver himself felt conflicted. Yet he believed that creative stagnation would be a greater regret than professional uncertainty. His choice reflected courage rather than ambition, prioritizing artistic evolution over comfort. Reinventing himself after Gunsmoke. After leaving Gunsmoke, Dennis Weaver worked deliberately to redefine his image. One of his first major post-Gunsmoke successes was Gentle Ben, where he played a compassionate wildlife officer raising his family in the Florida Everglades. The role showcased his warmth and emotional range, appealing to a new generation of viewers. His greatest reinvention came with McCloud, where he starred as Sam McCloud, a Western-style lawman navigating modern New York City. The series blended humor, action, and cultural contrast, allowing Weaver to command the screen as a leading man. Running from 1970 to 1977, McCloud was a major success and earned him critical acclaim. Though typecasting remained a challenge, Weaver proved his versatility through persistence. His willingness to take risks ultimately rewarded him with a long-respected career beyond the shadow of Chester Goode, a life grounded in family and love. Away from the spotlight, Dennis Weaver lived a life defined by devotion to family. Shortly after returning from World War II, he married Jerry Stowe, his partner for more than 6 decades. Their marriage was built on mutual respect, stability, and shared values, a rarity in Hollywood. Together, they raised 3 sons and intentionally chose a quieter life away from constant publicity. Weaver valued being present as a husband and father, often crediting Jerry as the anchor that kept him grounded through fame and uncertainty. Family for him was not secondary to career, it was essential. He prioritized creating a nurturing environment where his children could grow without the pressures of celebrity culture. This balance between professional ambition and personal responsibility reflected his character. Even as his career evolved, his commitment to family remained constant, shaping the man he was beyond the screen. Heartbreak, loss, and quiet strength. Despite a life filled with love and success, Dennis Weaver faced profound personal tragedy. In 2003, his family suffered a devastating loss when his daughter-in-law was killed in a tragic accident at the Santa Monica Farmers Market. The suddenness and violence of the event shook the entire family, leaving deep emotional scars. For Weaver, who had always valued life's fragility, the loss was especially painful. Grief tested his resilience in ways no career challenge ever had. Yet he responded with quiet strength, focusing on supporting his loved ones rather than retreating into public sorrow. This tragedy reinforced his belief in compassion, presence, and gratitude for each day. Though the pain never fully faded, Weaver carried it with dignity. His ability to endure personal loss without bitterness revealed a depth of character that audiences rarely saw, but those closest to him deeply admired. A pioneer of environmental advocacy. One of the most meaningful chapters of Dennis Weaver's life unfolded away from acting, through his commitment to environmental activism. Long before sustainability became a global priority, Weaver advocated for clean energy and responsible living. In 1993, he founded the Institute of Economics, promoting the idea that economic progress and environmental care could coexist. He supported alternative energy sources, including hydrogen and wind power, and actively campaigned to reduce dependence on fossil fuels. Weaver didn't just speak about change, he lived it. He built an eco-friendly home in Colorado, using recycled materials and renewable energy, demonstrating practical sustainability. He also championed animal welfare and ethical living, believing future generations would judge environmental neglect harshly. His activism reflected foresight and moral conviction, proving that his legacy extended far beyond entertainment into meaningful contributions that continue to inspire today. The enduring legacy of Dennis Weaver. Dennis Weaver passed away on February 24, 2006, at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy defined by courage, integrity, and purpose. While many remember him as Chester Good or Sam McLeod, his true impact lies in the choices he made, choosing growth over comfort, family over fame, and responsibility over convenience. His decision to leave Gunsmoke was not a mistake, but a reflection of his desire to evolve as an artist and human being. Beyond acting, his environmental advocacy and ethical beliefs positioned him ahead of his time. Weaver's life reminds us that success is not measured solely by popularity, but by staying true to one's values. Through his work, his activism, and the lives he touched, Dennis Weaver remains a respected figure whose story continues to resonate with sincerity, humility, and enduring relevance.